Gal here with the Chatham Journal. This is Thursday morning, and we're going to find out from Tim some of the things I need to do tomorrow, Friday. You're probably seeing this on Friday morning. I'm not going to be able to make it into the gym on Friday morning. So, Tim, what are the 40 things I need to do on Friday?
40. Yeah, so within this program, what I want you to do is every day think about moving. So I've broken it down to within the 40 push-ups, 40 air squats, 40 jumping jacks, 40 sit-ups, and then ideally if you can get 40 minutes of moving within the day as well. Now, that sounds daunting, to do 40 push-ups. Well, like we've talked about, is breaking those things up and creating these tiny habits. So doing 10 push-ups after a call, every time you have a call, go to the wall. If you can't do a full push-up on the ground, just give me a push-up here. So I want the head to go to the side because I want to get that full range of motion. I don't want you on the floor doing one of these things where you're like, yeah, I'm doing a push-up. No, you're doing a head exercise, and that doesn't work. So coming down, getting that head to the wall.
So we're getting it right up against the wall. There we go.
The glasses are hitting. And if you can do 10 of those, not so bad. If you have a countertop, you can use the counter and do it. Maybe that's a little bit farther down. Maybe that's step 2. And as we progress, then you can be on the floor with your knees. Or hey, if you're a workout hero and you can do regular push-ups, give me those. So 10 at a time. Same thing with air squats.
Well, going back to push-ups, the reason we mentioned the variables is because in your office you may not be able to actually get down on the ground and do push-ups.
Yeah, if you don't want to get wrinkled, if you don't want to, yeah. So.
Right, you may have a suit on or something else, but you also, if you're in the break room and no one's around, you can do the push-ups against the counter.
Absolutely. So the next is air squats. So not a beautiful background here, but you're going down. Ideally, you're setting the hips back a little bit, and then you're coming down and you're getting down as low as you can, and then coming back up again. All right. So if you can get 10 of those, maybe every time you go, take a water break. Every time you go to the bathroom, come out and do those air squats. I do preface, guys, don't do the air squats while you're going to the bathroom. It makes a mess. Okay, so we'll do that afterwards. No. The next is we're doing jumping jacks. We've all done jumping jacks before. You're just bringing up the arms up. The idea is you're getting that heart rate up. This is a great one to do before you're going into a meeting. So if you're familiar with Tony Robbins, the big motivation guru and self-help, he gets on a jumper, one of those little trampolines. We actually have one in the gym because I love them so much. He's out there, he's on that before he goes on stage. He's doing 2 minutes of that, and he goes out on stage. Now look at the energy that he has. So before you go into a meeting, before you get onto a call, do some jumping jacks and just let me know how you feel after that.
Yeah, I've done those actually in the morning before I've gone off to work. So really easy to get. Those are probably the easiest to get in during the day.
Exactly. So, if you get 100 of those in during the day, 10 at a time, it's really easy. The next is doing sit-ups. Now, a lot of people, you can't get down on the ground at work necessarily, or you're having some issues. Some people have some back issues, some things that they can't necessarily do that. Everything is scalable. Everything in CrossFit, everything here is scalable. So what you're going to do is you just want to get that crunch in. So I'm squeezing down. I'm bringing that ab together. It's almost like I've got a zip tie from my rib cage to my pelvic bone, and I'm squeezing down. Now I can bring my legs up. Now squeeze, exhale as you're bringing it up, and if you do that, you are getting a great ab workout just doing that. Going to the side, you're working those obliques at the same time. Again, 10 of those. Do those jumping jacks. Do 10 of those. Even while you're walking, you can kind of squeeze them down. That's going to do an amazing, have amazing progress on working that core. Want to keep that core tight. If you're having back issues, work on the core. All right, it's all part of it. Your core is all of this here, and you got to work on these abs to be able to support that back. Then the last thing is to get 40 minutes of movement in. Again, if you can get 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. That one is, can be a little harder if you're not used to moving, but just keeping that blood flow going. The stats are out, guys. You got to be mobile. As we get older, we got to be doing it. It helps so much in that longevity. And here's a start. Excellent way to start. 10 at a time, 10 minutes at a time for the movement. And Gene, while you're gone, this is what you're going to be doing. All right.
This is what I'm going to be doing. Also, going back to the movement, can someone who's got who's measuring, can they do 10,000? Is 10,000 steps 40 minutes? Probably not.
It might be a little bit more, but yeah, if you're doing the steps, do the steps. Idea is to get those things in. 10,000 steps a day is great. Now, The other thing I like to do is think about getting that heart rate up a little bit. So maybe in those 10,000 steps, maybe you're adding a little jog in there. So do a little bit of that to get that heart rate up and then come back down again. So it's always great to do that variable and get that heart going. Movement and exercise are two different things. So that 40 minutes of doing that walk or movement is not really exercise. Exercise is bringing that heart rate up a little bit. You want to keep it in a zone 2, which a good way to, if you're not doing your heart rate and doing all those kind of things, it's a walking, like a talking pace. So if I'm jogging and I can still comfortably talk, that's kind of a zone 2 area. When you start getting a little bit more out of breath, you might be going into a zone 3. So keeping it at that zone 2. If you know Peter Attia, he's a doctor in the longevity space that I love to be in. That zone 2 a couple times a week does amazing things for your longevity. So that's what Gene wants to be giving you the news for Chatham County for the next 100 years. So that's what we're helping him to do.
Yeah.
He's going to be doing it 10 minutes at a time.
All right. So, folks, if you're watching this on Friday, I'm going to be doing this on Friday. I'll report back at the end of the day when I get all 40 done. And Saturday and Sunday, if I'm not around, then I'm also going to do this. So this is something,
Awesome.
It's a lifestyle change. And, folks, I think I heard one of the teammates in there say getting out of bed is half the battle.
Yep.
Tim says getting through the door is half the battle. But hey, let's get you out of bed. You can look, even if you don't do all 40 of these, get at least one of those series in, because if you can't do jumping jacks, come on, guys. I mean, you used to be able to do that as a kid. You can still do that. All right. Anything else, Tim?
That's it, guys. Just move. And if you want some help on it, come see us at CrossFit 15501.